Hello, where's my camera?
Oh, there you go.
Well,
Wait, are we live?
yeah. Hello. How's it going? Welcome
good
to the
call.
Oh, wow. We didn't hear any of your
We did
normal
not hear
countdown
you.
or anything.
Oh,
Tell us
really?
that we were going live.
No, we were just like sitting here
You
talking.
didn't hear us
and
having a
hanging out.
casual convo?
Interesting. No, that was not live. I just unmuted you, so we're good. We're
I'm
good.
super glad,
okay.
Mike, I didn't catch that thing you were saying about that other streamer. That would have been
Yeah, that would have
really
been bad.
awkward.
That would have been bad for sure. Hi. Hello. Welcome to the stream.
What, that he's awesome?
We're testing some stuff
All
out today. I guess we'll just start with some housekeeping notes. One, we're using the same program we did last week, but this time we're using a low latency mode, which means that hopefully the amount of us talking over one another or awkward pauses when we end our piece that we're saying will stop because it's lower latency. That's the whole point behind it. So what it also means is that we're using more bandwidth for the call. So hopefully there's no drop frames on the show drop frames, so I don't have to hear that.
He said the title. He said the title.
He said the title show.
it
Or there's no camera freezes from any of the other cameras. So we shall see. Also, last week we announced we have a Twitter. Make sure to follow that. And I think right now all of our past episodes are actually being uploaded to iTunes. So that should be done sometime this week. And then I guess Spotify's next. But you know, it's a pain in the ass to upload 127 episodes. Let me just say that.
Oh, shit, yeah, probably.
We had to
That's
rip.
really weird because today's number 2142.
Well, that's
so
true.
I don't know.
You know,
Yeah.
well, it's 127 total, but the numbers are, you know, what it's 21. What was it? What was today's episode?
Today is 2142. Actually, an
2142.
interesting little homage number because, funny enough, my favorite Battlefield game ever.
Nice. I guess that's true. I guess I didn't even think
Just
about
happened to line up there.
Yeah. I actually do miss Titan mode in that game. That was fun. No one played that game though. I felt like that game came out in the beta. And
Dude, I was in a clan. Like I did the whole thing. I was like a competitive 2142 player.
Yeah.
We had like individual squads that all had purposes. We had like 2 recon squads. We had a Titan assault squad. We had like a mech squad and support. Like it was so cool, man. Some people were so hardcore in that game. It was fantastic.
I remember very strongly playing having very strong feelings about the beta because you had to it was one of those betas where you had to get GameSpy or something. You had to buy it through GameSpy or IGN or some shit. I don't know. That was a long fucking time ago.
I
Anyways,
wanted to play these games, but I didn't have a good computer back then.
well, we played them for you, Bike. That's what counts. We knew that we would
felt
reach you
it.
in the future. Mm-hmm. So, anyways, what have you guys been doing? What's up? I don't think I've talked to you guys except for Zeke's. I've talked to Zeke a lot this past fucking week. Just Court of Swords. I don't even want to talk to him anymore. I'm just gonna mute him for the rest of the show.
No,
you
it's
know how we
fine.
live every week.
I'll mute myself. Like that's how I started the show today. I was like, why is no one responding to me? What's going on? And then everybody in chat, you're muted, motherfucker.
Oh, yeah, that happened. That's the second time you have do you have a new mute button or something, or are you just forgetting?
No, I just forget that I mute the actual program. Like I muted it in the browser and not like on my mixer.
Yeah.
Which is what I normally do, is mute it on my mixer.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Well, I know what Bike's been playing because we've been playing some Weeb Trash, which we're going to get to. Ko actually started the call off today with informing me that me and Bike need to convince him to play Xenoblade Chronicles 2, and I said, I don't think we can, Ko. I really don't.
I'm not here to convince you. I'm here to gush about it, though.
Yeah.
That's what I'm hoping will convince me.
Yeah. We'll
have to see.
We'll see. But did you, Ko, you jumped into the Surge DLC, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm curious to see how that was because I haven't seen anything on that. I didn't even know that was out. Let's start with
I got to admit, man,
Surge DLC.
just the amount of changes they've made since I played has been really cool. They made a lot of the changes that kind of bugged me about it, and I actually started a new game today, and different weapon type and all that kind of stuff. And I got to say, I'm loving it so far. Like I completely lost track of time, and chat was like, it's like 12:15, like 45 minutes ago,
Yeah.
and chat's sitting there going like, doesn't Ko have drop frames at 1? And I'm just kind of like, yeah, but I'm having so much fun. Like I would have left 45 minutes earlier normally on a Wednesday, but I was having such a good time with it, man. It's
I was
a
a little late
great,
because of the game, too.
great Souls like. So what was that?
It's just fun to grind in it,
Yeah,
pretty much.
yeah, it's a real solid game.
What are the changes for those? Because I have no idea. I didn't even know this DLC was coming out until I saw your tweet about it. Like what have they changed inherently about the game?
So inherently, you have like a lot of quality of life stuff. Like they fixed a lot of the sound things we wanted from a plugin that shows you where items are. There's now a buff bar where you can really easily see like what buffs are on you, what they do. Set bonuses are more easily identifiable. Just a lot of little QOL things. I noticed were kind of added. Game is still hard as balls.
Yeah.
Oh my God. I was having a really rough time on the first level. Granted, I was using a subpar weapon that I wasn't familiar with, but it was brutal. And it reminded me today just how difficult this game actually is.
You switched to stabs, right?
Yeah, I'm doing a staff run this time. I did kind of what is known as the vanilla playthrough the first time, which is what's called single rig. And that's the big weapons, the big single weapons that attach to one of your arms. Yep. Those are like what most of the iconic weapons in the games are. You get off bosses and stuff. But there's also heavy weapon, one-handed, staff, and then dual rigged, which is 2 weapons attached. So I wanted to do something a little bit quicker this run. And when I asked chat, like if I did a single rig last time, I want to go quick this time, and chat erupted with staff. So apparently staffs not only have some of the cooler weapons later, but they end game are pretty good too. So I'm working through it. I just at this point in the game especially, I didn't have a good staff. You can see I'm wearing half my armor. I'm wearing 1 arm and 1 leg armor. I don't even have chest armor on at this point. And I'm trying to like fumble my way through this level to the DLC. We towards the end of the stream today, we started getting okay. Started farming armor, and I got a flaming staff now that's badass, and a lot of other cool stuff. There it is right there. But yeah, I spent about 2 hours getting to the new DLC.
Okay.
And when I got to the new DLC, not only am I loving it so far, all new level, theme park vibe. There's a cool little kind of story arc that goes through it we're working on. Every enemy in here is new. Every enemy so far I've seen has dropped a new armor set. There's like a new mantis set. There's this crazy amazing, and I don't know if you're going to see it here. You might in just a second. Actually, if you go towards the end of the stream, you'll probably see it. But there's this crazy new armor called Ogre armor that makes you look like a mech out of Hawken. Like it's insane how bulky and cool it looks. And there's also a new set called Mantis. And what's also weird is in this, there's a theme park, and all the theme park has gone batshit crazy. So you have what are normally like theme park animatronics, but now they have like lasers and blades and shit. And what's weird is you have like Mr. Coffee and Mr. Soda and Mr. like Chocolate Man, and they all have these big funny heads like you'd normally do. But now they're all weapons, like this guy right here. And now you can rip their heads off and then build your own armor based on it. I haven't done that yet, but I've gotten schematics for like a donut, a soda, a shake, a thing of fries. So I have no clue what these things are going to do, but you can, yeah, it's crazy. Okay, here's the ogre.
Oh, shit.
That's armor you can get and put on yourself. Now, under that particular guy is a robotic exoskeleton. But yeah, we've already farmed all the ogre armor, and I'm working on getting it pretty soon.
Does he have an Xbox 360 on his back?
I know, right? It looks like he does. What I found out is what it actually is. It's a giant battery, and when they drop, you can blow them up, and they will blow you up. Yes.
Huh. Oh, there you go. You got his armor.
Having a great time with it. I will say this, man. Neo has kind of ruined me.
Yeah?
The key pulse mechanic in Neo, I could see that in every Souls-like game forever. Like every time I go into combat, I would find myself sometimes like shadow key pulsing. Like I would, because I got so used to it in my Neo run.
Yeah.
It became so essential to doing well in Neo that like it's like almost muscle memory at this point. But I really loved it. So
do you still get the feeling when
it's a great game, and I definitely recommend it, especially if you've never played it before. Now's a great time to pick it up.
Do you still get the feeling when you play games like this and when you play Neo that it's just not Dark Souls? Is because that always is like in the back of my mind when I play a game like this, where it's like, well, this is all right, but it's not Dark Souls. Like it doesn't feel like it doesn't have that. I don't want to say polish, but like I kind of guess I want to say polish that Dark Souls does.
I gotta be honest, the only game that I ever felt that way with was an older game called Lords of the Fallen.
Yeah.
If you remember that. This game, The Surge, because of the mech components, the fatality part, like the way that combat is done, this game feels unique to me. This I feel is the heavy robot Souls-like. And I love that about it. And same thing with Neo. I mean, Neo with the key pulsing, with the stance dancing, with the comboing that's reminiscent of Ninja Gaiden. Like, I feel like it's a Souls game plus. And I feel that way about the Surge, too. I feel like it's a Souls game, but then you have all this other cool stuff, like removing people's body components for parts and new schematics, and then the armor sets and how they work together, and the weapon types and the synergies there, and the implant system. Like, I feel like these are Souls Plus games. Where Lords of the Fallen, I feel exactly like you just said. I played Lords of the Fallen, and the entire time, all I could think of was, this is pretty cool, and I'm liking it, but it's not Dark Souls.
True.
I think it's kind of like Die Hard is like the pinnacle of action movies, but it hasn't ruined me for other action movies. They're just not a work of art like Die Hard.
That's true.
And every so often you find an action movie where you're like, it wasn't Die Hard, but it did some cool stuff Die Hard didn't do. Like, and that's kind of how I feel about Neo and Surge.
Now, for someone, I played it when it first came out. I played Surge when it first came out. Do you think that? And I was meh about the game. Like I liked it, but it wasn't something I would continue playing. Do you think the extra added stuff is worth coming back to take a look at?
No.
If you
there are no core gameplay changes that I have found so far. The DLC is really cool, and if you were like me and you enjoyed the Surge, I think you'll really enjoy the DLC. At least I have so far. I've heard it's pretty big too. I don't know how long it is, but I'm hoping it's pretty big. But that being said, if you didn't like the base game, I don't know if they've changed enough to sway you. If you were on the fence on it, there may be enough little QOL stuff. And I have heard also, and I need to confirm this. I saw someone say this in chat, but I haven't actually followed it up myself. Apparently they rebalanced the end game a little bit, which was a huge issue for some people, including me. Like, basically there's this difficulty ramp towards the end of the game that is obscene. You go from like being able to take 3 to 6 hits in heavy armor to being basically one shot by multiple enemies.
Damn.
And that rubbed a lot of people the wrong way. So I heard they rebalanced that. So if that's something that bugged you, it may have been fixed. Oh, I know, dude. It's crazy. That candy bar, by the way, is one of the helmets you can get. So.
Oh, great.
Oh my God.
It's gonna be nuts. It's gonna be nuts.
It seems like they, at least
people
from what
are saying it's an hour or two.
Oh, that's
Somebody
not very
just
long.
said in chat, an hour or two is the DLC.
Huh.
A couple of the Steam reviews were negative because it was short.
Damn.
A lot of the stream review copies complain the DLC is only 1 to 2 hours long.
How?
See, that's weird. I feel like I've spent an hour in it already, and we barely touched it.
How much is it?
But I don't know how big. So we'll see. I'm going to be playing it 4 hours tomorrow. So.
I want to see how much it is if it's only an hour. Oh, that's the review. It's $14.99. For the A Walk in the Park DLC.
2 hours of actual gameplay. I don't know if $15 would warrant it. But I can tell you, like I've already played it 2 hours. So I know, granted, I'm doing armor farming and I've died, stuff like that. So.
Yeah. I wonder if it's like what you told me, where like the second part is in a completely separate area of the first original game, and you have to go find the second part. Maybe they played the first part and thought that was it.
Yes. Now that actually, what Bikeman just said is a good point. When I got access to this, they sent me a how to access the DLC guide, and what it is the part of the park that I'm in now, and the DLC is called Creo World, or the DLC follows a new area called Creo World. This part of the park you get to right in the middle of the second level, and then apparently you get to a stopping point here, and then later in the game, where Bikeman found, there's a second entrance that you can then go into. Now, I don't know. Now, Bikeman, looking at this, did you do all the same stuff, or were you at a different part of the park?
I didn't go in.
Oh, you didn't go in?
I mean, I went in and loaded into the Creo World like entrance, and then I was like, I'm not ready to do this yet.
Yeah. Okay.
So I walked back out
I don't know if that's just a second way into what I'm doing, or from what the guide that I read made it sound like is that's actually a different part of the DLC. I'm not sure yet because I haven't been there. So
Okay.
We will see. We will see.
It was definitely an alternate entrance.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was watching. Let me put to another part of the VOD. I was watching. I think it was Summit last night was playing Dark Souls because for some reason he hadn't played that yet, and it got me thinking. Like, I really want another. Like, I want to play like a Dark Souls style game, but I don't want to play.
You should play the Neo DLC.
Well, that's. I was like, I mean, I could do like Neo,
You did
but
Bloodborne, right?
do what?
Bloodborne.
Oh yeah, I played the shit out of Bloodborne.
I need to go back to that because I hardly touched it, so I'm looking forward to that. Definitely.
Yeah, it.
Okay, so real quick, just to get on the same page, it says in this guide, find arena, who I did, enter the DLC, and then you scroll down and it says in italics, for the second part of the expansion, proceed to research and development in the Surge. The drone will call you and tell you. So it does sound like there are 2 different parts. Yeah. Oh, and it says right here, from R&D, which is the one that Bikeman's talking about, you can directly go through both parts of the expansion without leaving. From the main production, which is where I went in, you have to exit at the end of the first part to reach R&D and then re-enter. If you are a New Game Plus, both parts will be playable one after the other without leaving the expansion area. Interesting. So there must be a story-related element that changes the DLC.
Yeah.
So, and if you haven't gotten to that point in the story, it doesn't open. So now I'm really interested because just traversing that much content would take more than 2 hours. So I'm wondering, like, if some of the people only played the first part. I don't know. But then again, maybe in New Game Plus, it's a lot quicker because you don't have to do that. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not sure. Do you think you're going to go through and play this game to floor, or are you just trying to play the DLC? Because you already played through it in full once.
Probably going to stick to the DLC. Yeah, because my first playthrough was nearly 100%. Like, every armor set we could get, all the stuff we could find.
Yeah.
Meticulously went through most of the levels. So I don't think I'll probably do another full playthrough. There's just too many other games out right now, weirdly enough.
Yeah.
Especially right around the corner.
Yep. Yeah, there's a lot coming out this weekend for sure. But we'll get
got to rush for Saturday.
Yeah. We'll get to that in just a bit. Zeke, what about you? I know you touched on some more getting over it. We don't need to spend too much time on that. But you,
No, we don't.
you played a bit after the show last week.
Yeah, I did.
Got a little bit further, you said.
Yeah, I got to the stairs. It's gonna be one of those, like, you do a little better every time. I hope.
Yeah.
JP, you need to make a montage of Zeke's catastrophic falls in that, like, so you've been playing some getting over it, and then roll the clip.
On my YouTube, it's like there's two like last week in Zeke, and it's all of those. It's two like 10-minute like videos of just me falling and dying, and this is the furthest I've gotten. Right here. Look at the fucking concentration on the face. I don't know how to do this.
Yeah. I don't
know how to get past this.
I feel like at this point in the game, you start to understand the like physics a lot better.
Oh.
And there's something very satisfying about like swinging yourself into chaos and then making something happen out of that chaos. And that's that's a pretty good point in time to learn that. Yeah. Also, I really like that wall right there because when you nail that on the first time, it feels really good. But when you fuck it up, it's like the worst. It's just like, why did I fuck this up? It
can be really bad.
Yeah.
Really bad.
But
you probably can't hear the audio right now, but that's all I'm playing is like just tunes from the 80s. Like,
oh yeah.
Like, you're the best around. You got the touch, like all that kind of shit. You know, Eye of the Tiger.
I never played.
Like,
You
all
Got the Touch.
inspirational songs, and that's all I'm trying to get my mind right and jam to the fucking tunes.
Next time you play, let me know because I have two songs that catapulted me into success in the game, and they are just the best songs. One of them's a 10-minute motivational speech from some basketball player, and it's just the best.
I heard that.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Good. And then the other one's
that
Super
on
Saiyan 3D, which is probably the best hype song of all time, without a doubt. That part sucks. I can't watch this anymore. Okay, let's move on. I'm like seeing things like, yeah.
I don't like watching myself, but with the sound off, I would definitely watch myself fucking fail over and over again.
Yeah.
I understand the want,
Sure.
the need.
You brought this up yesterday on Court of Swords, so we didn't talk about it too much because you're saving it for today. But let's talk about Knox, a game that fucking came out 20 years ago or some crazy shit.
17 years ago in the year 2000.
The year 2000.
Nice.
There you go. Yeah, Knox. It's an ARPG from 2000. It's Diablo-like, of course. It's an ARPG, but it's like way more streamlined. Not a lot of bells and whistles or frills. So it's more attuned to someone who is not I don't know, into like min-maxing and really, really trying to get everything, conquer everything and stuff like that. It just, you go here, do this. This staff is better than your other staff. Equip that staff. That helmet's better than that other helmet. Equip that one. And so on and so forth. And it's a lot of fun. I think that's the reason why I like it so much is because it is pretty straightforward. Not a lot of thinking or inventory management to do. and it's funny. That's the other thing. It's got a good sense of humor.
Really?
There's definitely some like tongue-in-cheek, poking fun at itself kind of moments during this, and it's got enough enough variety in dungeons, and it clips along pretty well, pretty fast, that you stay invested. Like once you think you're getting sick of being in a dungeon, like the dungeon's over, and then you just move on to the next thing. There's a lot of variety in spells too. Like I don't know. I think I played it for 2 broadcasts, and I have like 40 fucking spells that are all different.
Jeez, I like that you're casting missiles of magic. Because
now, I'm not sure if magic missile is something that's trademarked.
I don't know. It might be
Wizard of the Coast or something.
That's the only thing I could think of.
Magic missile, maybe.
That probably goes back to like the 70s, I would think, even before that. But
But one of the other fun things is while I'm playing this, people like this is one of those games where people come in chat and go, "Oh my God, is this Knox? Like my childhood." You know, people like have such reverence for this game, and I haven't touched it yet, but people are just nostalgic about the PvP in this game. I guess it was
really
fucking great back in the day. And like I used to play PvP for hours. I fucking loved it. What class are you playing? And I'm playing a wizard class, or the wizard class. There's only 3 classes. That's the other thing.
Yeah.
There's warrior, wizard, and conjurer. Those are the 3 classes. And like, oh, you're playing wizard? Oh, you're playing the hard mode. Okay, cool. I was like, oh, it's hard mode? I didn't know. But apparently, like, playing the wizard makes it a little bit more difficult because you are definitely like a glass cannon.
So,
but I mean, it's not super difficult, I wouldn't say.
This game has multiplayer then? Like, is it multiplayer in the sense that someone could jump into your game and help you through this dungeon, or is it just multiplayer
Is it like
PvP?
P2P?
Yeah.
Like, how does that work?
How does that work?
I have no idea. I haven't even touched it.
Okay.
I bet chat would know. There's a lot of people like, I swear to God, like, this is one of the top 3 games that people have come in the chat and been like, oh my God, I remember this. and especially like remembering, because there's a verbal component to every time you cast a spell. Every single time you cast a spell, you say something.
Oh, really?
And people are like, oh my God, I remember those words. And when you heal yourself, it sounds like he's saying, dude, bruh. Like when you heal yourself, you say it every time you heal yourself, like, dude, bruh. And then like if you cast missiles of magic, it sounds like mangina.
Jesus Christ.
But people remember those sounds like, oh my God, I still remember that, like ringing in my ears years later.
This game came out in January, the end of January of 2000, with Diablo 2 coming out in June of 2000. So this was probably the game that like everyone played in prep for Diablo 2. Like,
oh, I'm sure, yeah.
They probably hit a very sweet spot with that release date, you know, for 8 or so months or whatever, 7 or so months, where they were just like, all right, we own this world. And then Diablo 2 came out and they're just like, well, let's move on.
Well, yeah. Sure.
Yeah.
Like, we had a good few months, guys. Good job. All right.
Yeah. When did Westwood actually, when did they end up like closing shop? Do you guys remember Westwood?
Not sure, man.
Studios. I wonder if they went defunct in 2003. Was this their last game? Let's see.
No, I think they had another CNC, didn't they?
They might have, yeah. Oh, they had Command and Conquer Renegade, which was 2002, and they also had Command and Conquer Yuri's Revenge. Which,
underrated, awesome for the record.
Yeah, Red Alert 2 came out in 2000 as well. There was Emperor Battle for Doom.
Dude,
rather,
Westwood had so many good fucking titles.
Yeah.
They really did.
Oh yeah,
You could
Westwood
do
got bought by Electronic Arts. Maybe that had something to do with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, EA. Yeah.
Thanks.
Yeah.
And now they're doing the
you
same
could
thing to our buddy BioWare.
You could do 6 months of just Westwood games.
Yeah.
Like
Easily.
they have such good titles, and it would be a good 6 months of broadcasting. Their titles are, I mean, Command and Conquer. I mean, Christ.
Yeah, I still remember like the fucking what is it, the Hand of Nods from Command and Conquer. Like when I first stumbled upon one of those, I was like, oh, what the fuck? I just got one shot, man. Fuck this game. And then I would get a Tanya or something like that and be like, this is the sickest game ever. This person's so badass.
Unless we forget.
That's true. Yeah, I forgot. They made a pretty good variety of games, actually. Now that I think about it. Are you going to go back and finish Knox, Zeke, or are you done with it?
I'm not sure. I'm not really sure how long it is. I think I'm on chapter I want to say 10-ish.
Yeah.
I'm really not sure how long it is. It's as long as it remains fun and people are enjoying it, I will keep playing it. But there are, like you said, there are a lot of games that are probably going to come out and that I will have to drop it for. But I like having these old school games peppered in between newer releases.
Yeah, I think Co maybe said it last week when we were doing our Q&A. You've kind of cornered the market on we're going to play an old school game, and the majority of broadcasters that would try to do that would see zero success. But for whatever reason, it's just oh, Zeke's playing this game, let's all go watch, and everyone tunes into these old school games. And I think that's awesome that you've cornered that.
Very few casters on Twitch that get the numbers that Zeke does when he goes retro and stuff like that. It's kind of incredible.
Well, I do better with these. I'm one of the old men of Twitch. Honestly,
we all four are kind of.
Yeah. But I think it's because I've never I was console until I was 30. I didn't have a decent PC for gaming. I didn't get one. I missed all of these games. I missed everything by Westwood. I missed all the Monkey Islands. I missed, anything you remember playing on your PC from 1995 on to 2010. I fucking missed all of those.
Yeah.
So going back and I think it's because it's genuine joy for a new game. This is all brand new to me. I've never played any of these games. I never played Blade Runner, never played this. I never played Diablo 2 when I picked that up for a little bit.
Yeah. When are you picking up?
But it also makes me feel good when I say I am a variety video game caster, and I mean variety. There's all kinds of different shit.
Oh yeah. When are you gonna play the hot new title Age of Fear 3?
Age of Fear. I have all of those.
Oh my god, you actually bought them?
I bought the bundle. It's all FMV, right? It's all just disgustingly good FMV awfulness, right?
I would probably, I have no idea, but I would wager that you get one of those at the start of the game and then maybe one of those at the end of the game. But I've never played the amazing title that is Age of Fear, so I couldn't tell you. You'll have to jump in and play it.
Let me see.
Well, you could probably go in and I would wager that game has all of the movie files somewhere in the directory for it. They're probably not
Oh, so it's not FMV. It's
like a weird. You didn't look at the pictures. I don't even know how to describe it. It's like Roll20, the game. I think.
Yeah. I'm looking at it right now.
Okay. Are you having a discovery that you might have spent a little bit the money that you should?
Yeah,
have?
I might have. Yeah. It's okay though.
Okay, you should still play them because they'll probably be pretty bad.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah.
I was hoping it was something else. Oh yeah, cause see, there's a video.
Yep.
With full motion, live actors with shitty costume props, shitty theater props.
Looks like high school musicals. It looks.
Oh rough. Yeah, and this chick dressed up in like plastic leaves, looking like a nymph.
Yep. That's the third one. I know way too much about this series only because I've watched the trailers on Steam.
Okay.
You should play those though.
I'll give them a look.
Okay. Did you do did you jump into Indie? Oh yeah, you did do Indie Sunday, but you did Indie Sunday Revisited.
Yes, Indie Sunday Revisited, games that I wanted to give another look to because I felt like there were quite a few of them that I only gave a couple of hours to that I felt like I should give it more time to. Yeah. And this is one of them that I'm so glad that I did. This game has a Twitch extension
right.
Clone drone in the danger zone, which is a very long title. But it has a Twitch extension. If you install it, it's like on your screen, like people who are watching can click the video player for certain things to bet to, accrue coins. Like you can see on the right-hand side there that there's bets going on to accrue like these gold coins that you can spend not only betting, but also you can purchase like enemies that you put in the game yourself that have your name over them. So someone who like won a big pot comes out with this fucking like mech dinosaur looking thing. They spent a lot of money on that thing to try and kill you. But also you can spend your money to create allies for the player as well. And they have green names over their heads. So you see like all these people from chat like in the game that have spent money or spent like their fake, coins to put themselves in the game. Like any name you see, that's a character. They're not controlling it, but they bought that thing to put it in the game to try and kill you. And you can tell how much money they spent by how armored they are, how hard they are to kill, like that kind of stuff.
I like the giant LOL emote coming for you.
Dude, and that's the other thing. The announcers, they say like every global emote, they have a voice line for. Like for my global emote, the BC Warrior. Yeah. You hear the announcer go, "Pink hair human." And for Baby Rage, you hear the announcer go, "Angry baby." And this is like throughout the entire game. It's like the crowd is like shouting things at you. It can get a little annoying, but it's fun. Yeah. And the guys from hold on. The guys from Doborog. I don't know how to say it. Doborog. Doborog. Yeah. They actually integrated my emotes because they saw me playing it on the previous Indie Sunday, and they sent me an email. They were like, here's a few game keys, and also, hey, we did your emotes. So if like you put Zeke Love in the chat, it'll say Fire Heart.
Oh, that's really
that
cool.
kind of stuff. And my mom emote, like Zeke Mom, it says call your mother.
That's pretty good.
It was really cool. Like when I booted it up, I was like, oh my god, that's great. It's fucking hilarious.
Yeah. It's always cool when devs can do that.
But it's super fun. It's super fun to play with the chat. And then you see like I looked at the video and thought it was me, so I thought I could point, like, because that's what I'm used to. Yeah. But you see like over my shoulder there it says silver, gold, bronze, whatever. That's people betting on what tier of arena I will die on. Oh. Yeah. So most people, I've died a lot on silver. You usually can get through bronze. Silver is where I die the most. I've gotten to gold a few times, but the difficulty ramps up. And after every arena, like I think there's 3 arenas per tier, like bronze, silver, gold, all have 3. After everything, you can buy, or they give you an upgrade point. So you can get like a flaming sword like I just bought, or you can get armor, or you can buy an extra life. Also the audience can buy you extra lives as well. Only up to 5 though, with their coins. Also watching, I'm sorry, there's just so much stuff. The Twitch integration is fucking amazing. You can set how many coins your audience gets per minute. So per minute of watching. Yeah. So I set it at like the default is 10 coins a minute. I set it at 20 coins a minute. So for like 5 minutes, you get 100 coins just for watching.
So you could probably go pretty crazy then if you wanted to bump that up. You could just be fighting the most insane shit. Yeah. This is a game that Soda, I think, was talking about when he was on. Or maybe both of you talked about it when Soda was on. Because I remember.
Yeah, no, Soda definitely talked about this because Soda Pop emotes also have their own specific thing they made for him. Yeah. Like his are fucking annoying too. Like any Soda Pop and subs that came to my chat and popped an emote in there, they're extra long. They're like, la 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 la. I'm like, fucking hell, man, come on. But I mean, it fits. It's Soda Pop, of course.
We'll kind of run through this because.
But yeah, if you're a Twitch streamer, I mean, give it a look. It's definitely fun and totally worth it.
Let's run through these.
It's early access still, $15 on Steam.
Yeah. Oh, how's Dead Cells? What have they changed in that? I didn't realize you played this. What?
Oh, you played more.
Yeah. What
I played a little. This is one of those revisited ones that I played. Roguelikes are not something I'm very good with for streaming. This is something that I would just lose hours to and just zone out because, you know, you go, it's like Binding of Isaac, you know, you go a certain distance, you die, you unlock some things, then you come back, start from the very beginning again and try and go through it again.
They started a big update for this though, didn't they?
Oh, huge update apparently. But I didn't touch it. I didn't touch almost any of that because I realized, like, after an hour of playing, I went, this is not a good game for me to stream. It's a great game.
That Axe is
It's
new,
a fucking
isn't it?
fantastic, well put together game, but roguelikes for me do not do well because I get into like a zen, I feel like I'm boring when I play this.
Makes sense.
Yeah, because this game, in order for you to see more shit, you have to be
Good at it.
good.
Yeah.
And this is something that I would take forever trying to get good at.
I have the same problem, for the record. But real quick, like, I am seeing so many things that are different from when I played last.
Yeah.
This is nuts. Like, what? Oh, okay, like, for instance, the throwing thing you have was just down the middle red and purple, but then you got a brutality upgrade, and now it's more red than purple. What does that even mean?
Everything has different, like red brutality weapons, like they all have outlines, and when you up your brutality, it also ups weapons with a red outline, and some have dual colors. So if you get a brutality or I don't know what the other two are, but if you get a red and a green, either one will up the damage output or whatever, give it an upgrade. Some weapons you find are colorless, which means any upgrade will upgrade that particular weapon. So when you're doing builds, it's more specific now. It's like, I want to do a brutality build. I want to do it, and I will only pick up certain weapons that brutality will upgrade. Like my brutality upgrades will go with.
You played this game back when I did, like months ago. I remember. I think we talked about it the same show the week it came out. How much would you say has changed? And kind of like you asked me about the Surge, is there enough new stuff that you think it's worth a revisit?
Not the right person to ask because I didn't play a lot of it.
Okay.
I don't feel comfortable like giving a recommendation or not. If you liked it originally, you're gonna still like it. Everything that I saw, new shit is all positive. It's all good stuff.
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay.
Yeah.
This is one of those games that I'm waiting for it to be done before I like truly sit down and play it. Have they said at all, Zeke? Do you know like when this game's supposed to be finished, or are they just kind of working on it? And we'll get there when it's finished. Do you have any idea?
I don't. I mean,
okay. They might say something on their Steam page. Let me look.
Yeah, I'm looking right now.
Because it's still considered early access, right? Yeah, early access game.
Oh yeah, totally early access. Yeah.
It'll last about 8 to 12 months. We'll try to double the content right now. When was this?
I got to admit, just in the time we've watched here, I've seen probably like 10 new things.
Really?
Like the UI has been changed. They've completely rechanged how you get stats since I played last. A lot of the weapons that you're using, I've never seen before. Color and stat thing and build thing is brand new. I don't even know what that is flashing above your head right now. Like
that's the buffs. Like I brutality. If you up your brutality, once you kill somebody, you get a damage buff for like 2 seconds or something like that. Like after a death, you get a damage boost, and it think it stacks up to so many times or whatever. But there's a lot of that shit. There's a lot of shit. I will say though that they kind of nerfed some of the shit that made runs easier, like the turrets, that kind of stuff. Like they made the cooldowns longer, or they made them less powerful and stuff like that, which I think is probably a good idea in the long run. But restarting it and I got a turret, I'm just gonna throw tons of these out, and you're just like, oh, it's not as good as it was. Damn it. Because that's like how I got through the game. Like, was just throwing turrets and letting them do the work for me.
Yeah. Bike, you said you really enjoyed Dead Cells, right? Have you jumped in and seen any of the new content, or are you waiting for it to fully come out?
Who, me?
Yeah.
I've never touched this game.
Oh, I thought you said you. Okay, I
No,
thought you
no
said
way.
you liked it or were interested in it. Sorry,
No, no, no. I mean, like, well, I'm keeping track of it, but yeah, I haven't
Yeah.
touched it yet.
Yes, people are saying in chat they announced that early access in June, so it should be out by summer of 2018. By what they're saying in the early access stuff, it says 8 to 12 months is what it'll last. So we'll just have to see. I don't know.
Nope.
Yeah, it's the type of game I want to jump in, but I don't want to jump in until it's completed because it seems like they're gonna have the game's gonna be fucking huge.
It's already great. Like
yeah.
by the time this is done, it's gonna be huge.
Yeah.
Oh, and also something else I didn't know that I don't know why it was surprising to me, but it kept my progress. Like it when I jumped back in, I already had like things unlocked and all this kind of stuff.
Oh, wait, repeat that. What it already had everything saved? Is that what you said?
Yeah, it saved everything from me playing it like months and months ago.
Gotcha. That's cool. What's this? Is this that West of Loathing, Fear of Loathing?
This
What-
game I'm gonna go back and complete it. It's just too much fun. It's
Yeah.
This is the second time you've played this game, right?
yeah, this is all revisited. These are all indie games that I'm revisiting. Yeah.
Cool.
Because I want to give them another chance and see like some of them I wanted to see their updates. Some of them like I was like I didn't give them enough time and I kind of wanted to check them out again. This game I will definitely be finishing someday. It's just too much fun. It's funny. It's just goofy RPG like stuff. You're like my character's name is Filthy Jack Horse Poker. And yeah, like that kind of like exactly like that kind of humor. And you go through like just as for example, like you go through the game and it's like this you better be sneaky to get past these guys. And you tell the person that's giving you the quest, like, well, Sneaky is my middle name. And you go, really? And you go, and it says yes or no. And you say yes. And then it changes your name in the game to Filthy Jack Sneaky Horse Poker.
Okay.
Like that kind of humor. It's fun. And there's like the crazy walk that you do. Like you pick crazy walk mode and you just walk like a spider or
I wanna
and it
see more of
switches
that.
up.
Let me try to find a place in the
The
mod if
walk
you
was
walk in.
fantastic.
Yeah, I don't know if there's a lot of menu stuff here.
Oh, I'm actually, I found a place you can grind for experience points and I grinded just a little bit to get some skills up.
Okay, I'll skip ahead then.
Listen, okay, like this. Okay. This is pause the feed right here.
Okay.
Or
It's got to gray it, but yeah.
that's fine. This part is actually like just to let you in on the sense of humor. You're looking at mining equipment as the main character. You have no fucking clue what it does. And you have the option to explain it to your partner, Alice, who is a doctor. And you just bullshit explain all of this mining equipment, and then you get a skill called minesplaining.
Oh my god. Jesus.
That's what I'm talking about. It's fucking funny, right?
Oh god.
Okay.
You get the minesplaining skill.
Is it voiced, by the way, or is
That's
this
pretty good.
Is it just text?
No, it's all just text. It's just text.
Okay.
But that's what I'm saying. Like it's fucking. That's the kind of sense of humor it has. It's really fun and funny. And I'm gonna go back and finish it someday.
Is it done, or is this also early access? Do you know?
I'm pretty sure this is fully released.
Let's see. What's the Loathing? $11. Yeah, it's not in early access, so it's $11 right now on Steam.
Totally worth $12. Totally worth it. Or 11.
Yeah. And then I think you jumped back into this fucking like dark web game that scared the shit out of me. You talked about it last time.
It's welcome to the game. I wanted to give it one more look, and it's you get to a point. I got to a point where I was just done with it.
Yeah.
Like I didn't want to hunt and peck and search around and stuff like that. And it's really, really dark. Like the websites that are involved with this game are mock-ups of actual dark web sites.
Oh, yeah.
Terribly like drugs and murder and hiring hitmen and that kind of shit. Like it's fucking pretty real, like real mock-ups.
Yeah.
What's the point of the game?
The point of the game is to get to the Red Room, which is like you see, like the Red Room is where they do like live torture and and like snuff films or something like that. I know.
Is this a game or a simulator? No, I'm serious.
I'm not sure. I think it's there's game elements in it, but I would say that there's a lot. Yeah, it's a lot of just dark web simulation. Yeah,
Did you ever
for sure.
try typing the red room in the search browser?
Oh, I didn't. See, those are the
Takes you
things I
right
don't
there
even
in a game
think
over
about.
screen.
I don't even think about it. Yeah, but that's. I played it for an hour and I went, you know what? There's too much. Like it's too real, and I can't. I'm glad I went back to give it a look, just to make sure of my opinion on it. And it's fucking brutal. It's no holds barred.
Yeah. Yep. I remember when he talked about this the first time and described, you know, they have like, well, I'm not even gonna. It seemed real fucking crazy. In all the like worst ways of saying crazy.
Well, it's definitely not a game for the thin-skinned. The game elements are also that you have to avoid a kidnapper or the kidnappers and the serial killer, the breather, while you're searching the net. You have to the breather will call you and you answer and you hear. And then you have to go check the door to make sure he's not at the door. And if he is at the door, you got to hold like the fucking doorknob so he doesn't get in.
Oh, God.
Which I failed. I went to the door and I saw him and I was like, oh shit, he's coming. So I just stood by the door without holding the knob and he just fucking busted the door and fucking stabbed me.
Jesus.
So they threw some Five Nights at Freddy's in there.
Right?
Yeah, a little bit. Yep, a little bit.
Good Lord. Good Lord. All right. Well, was there anything else? Did you play? Oh, then you did your.
Just word games.
Yeah.
Which
Your
I love.
old favorite. What the fuck? What did
You
I
guys have not played this, man. Have you guys not played this?
No.
I should, because I'm into that.
This is called Use Your Words. It's one of the funnest group games I've ever played. It is so much fun. The object is you have to write a headline for this.
Dark web game, and that was one of the fetish sites right there.
I know, right? No, you write a newspaper headline for this photo, and the people in the game vote for their favorites, like whether they think it's the most clever, the funniest, whatever. You vote for your favorite, and you get points. And there's 3 different games. There's a subtitle game where you watch like a movie clip, and you put your own subtitle in. There's this, and then there's fill in the blank. Like KFC really lost its or whatever. The shittiest new KFC slogan is blank, and you just put what you think would be a shitty KFC slogan.
Nice. It's
fucking. I'm actually good at this game, which is very, very weird to say. Like I'm good at. I would say I'm competitive with almost anybody on 2 games, this one and Drawful.
Is this part of the Jackbox party pack, or is this
No.
completely separate?
Completely separate studio.
All right.
But yeah, that is a comparison that gets made a lot.
Gotcha. Yeah, because
obvious reasons.
Jackbox kind of created a lot of this type of game and made it popular. So I was just curious if this was another spinoff of theirs, but
yeah,
seems it isn't. Well, cool. Did you play anything else besides Indie Sunday and Knox? I saw you. Did you finish Hand of Fate? Is that done?
I did. Yes, I finished it.
Was it worth it?
I finished that game.
Was the ending worth it?
Fucking tastic.
Okay.
Loved it.
That's good.
Absolutely great game all the way through. Like I said before, it ticks a lot of boxes for me. Felt like I was playing a choose your own adventure game with straightforward, easy combat thrown in with enough variety to keep you interested, like in weapons and ways to kill, enough unlockable things like to keep you coming back. Like once you 100% the game, you don't really need to play it again. But there's enough stuff there's tons of cards with tokens on the front that you have to do certain things within the quest that you're in to unlock these tokens, and some of them are running quest lines. Like you have companions that you have to do this card, and then once you complete that, they give you another card along your companion's story. So there's just tons of unlockable stuff. You can get a gold medallion on all the levels if you do everything correctly, which I think I did. My first playthrough, I think I did probably 60%. I got gold, and then the other 40, I have to go back and I got silver. and I got to go back and do something like exactly right to get the gold. But it's totally worth it. I had 36 hours in it.
Damn.
And it's fucking fantastic.
Nice. All right. Well, I've put this off as much as possible because I'm gonna let Bike introduce this because
Oh, baby, I've been waiting.
I feel like I'm gonna say everything that will turn people off from the game, but I actually like really, really, really like this game. So I'm gonna let Bike sell it, and then I'll add in some of the stuff that I know people are gonna hate. So, Bike, why don't you talk about Xenoblade Chronicles 2? And I have no idea where you want to begin because there's a lot.
Oh, it's just one of those games that you can lose like 10 hours in and not realize it passed.
Yeah.
I think it's just it hits that perfect JRPG, like where there's so many mechanics and it's so engaging. I don't know, it's just really satisfying. Like Persona, it does the exact same thing. I know you play Persona 2, right, JP?
Yeah, but
where it just has a lot of interesting stuff to do all the time.
Again, it's going to sound like I'm hating the game, but I feel like Persona 5 makes anime cool, and this is just like the fucking raw and dirty anime. Like it's the purest, most like concentrated form of bullshit anime.
It is, and I made the decision early on to play. I don't know if you're still playing it with the English.
I am.
The English actors. I am too. I don't know, mostly because I don't want to make people tab away from whatever they're doing because they have to pay attention with their eyes to subtitles.
Right.
But I don't know, I really like the English dub in this. I don't mind it that much. And while it is like really anime sometimes, it's actually a lot more endearing because it's funny usually.
Well, it's also weird. Timing. It's like they have a bunch of like Welsh and like British and Scottish. Like there's 5 or 4 different characters at least that I've met that just have like a normal English accent. Everyone else has like an Australian.
Influenced by Neo.
Yeah.
People keep coming into chat like put off by the British accents. And they're like, I don't like this. And then an hour later, they're like, this is growing on me.
Yeah, it does grow on you. I think that's the best way to say it.
I never really had a problem with it. Like, as far as I'm concerned, anime characters are such a blank slate. They all look the same to me, as far as I'm concerned. That you can put whatever accent you want on there. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Well, it doesn't hurt that they all just talk by just opening their mouth super wide and then closing it completely.
Yeah.
Sometimes the voice syncing is a little bit off in this game, where their mouths aren't even moving.
I don't think they went in and fixed it for the American dub much.
Yeah, the localization, it seems a little bit rough in some parts. Like they'll go and they'll do things where it makes it's an anime game. There's a hot springs scene pretty early on. Like I say early, but it's like 15-20 hours into the game, and the dialogue in that scene, I don't know if it was like, if it captured what they were trying to do in the Japanese version, because I don't even want to reference what I think it was referencing because it's real fucked up. But everyone thought the same thing.
There's some like when you watch a kids movie and the writer slipped like an adult joke in there.
Yeah.
Let your free flag fly. Come on. Tell me what it was.
I don't want to because it's going to be so unbelievably controversial that I'm not going to put myself in that.
JP, just say it.
No, I'm not going to.
You can't not at this point.
I can.
I don't even remember what it was now.
Yeah, it's when.
See, if I can't remember, it can't be that bad.
Here's what happens, and I'll let you guys make the illusion.
Okay.
There's a female character it's all females in the hot springs because of course it is, and there's a female character who's also a cat, and she stands up. And one of the other female characters looks and gets like a weird look on her face. And,
I know what you're talking about.
And says something to the effect of like, I'll keep it secret and I won't tell anyone else. And then the scene ends and you're just like, what? What is that? All right. Okay. And then they go on.
No, honestly, like I don't know if this is
dick or she's on her period. One of the two.
Yeah, like you just don't know what it means, and I was like, I don't know if that's what the developers.
She's like, is it this thing? And she's like, yes, and then like honestly, goes away. I was like, what thing?
The first thing that came to my mind was a pussy joke for her being a cat.
No,
but then it's like that's not what that, and that's what I thought too. But you wouldn't tell someone like,
right?
I'll keep that like everyone would assume that.
Now,
so it has to be something that other people wouldn't assume. Like a penis.
Now playing the game more,
like, and then my mind jumped to like, oh, that can't be it because of the actual punchline of the joke is I jumped to tentacles.
See, but it's in the story of the game, like almost 20 hours later, it's explained what the fuck they're talking about. But that scene doesn't translate that whatsoever, and so it's just kind of weird. That's why I think the localization's a little bit off sometimes. But
yeah, the
that's
game
completely
itself is awesome.
separate.
I really love the map design in the game so much, especially the open world.
Yeah, let me get to some of that.
It rewards exploring so well, and anytime you run through the cities or like out in the field or whatever, and you see like somewhere and you're like, I wonder if I could get over there, and you find a way over there, there's usually a chest or something cool.
Yeah,
like to find there. Yeah, and because the game has a gacha system in it, and if you don't know what that means, it's a random chance to get something rare. Like when you find a crystal, it's basically kind of like a loot box without paying for anything.
Well, there's
you find these crystals, these common crystals. There's rare crystals, and your weapons are characters that come from these crystals. So you have a chance to like, and each one represents a different type of weapon. You can get a lot of commons that have like whatever, but you don't want those because they're not as powerful. When you get a rare that's like a rare gun or a rare giant axe or two-handed hammer or whatever, comes out of those. Yeah.
And one of the other things about this game is I don't know how many different artists contributed to it, but like the character models, especially of the blades, which is what Blackman was just describing, it seems like there's at least 4 or 5 different character artists there, because some of them look so unbelievably pornographic in so many ways, and then some of them just look like the most normal, like cool anime looking dude, and then some of them look like Cloud. So like, it's just all over the place.
I was talking about the one main bad guys like in the Sephiroth Appreciation Society.
Right.
It looks just like all gray haired and exactly like him. And yeah, the story's like I don't know. It's typical kind of anime-ish, but it's a little bit more engaging.
Yeah,
the action scene's really good.
It starts off pretty much like your typical JRPG, and they start to branch.
Yeah.
The main game, from what everyone's saying, I don't know how many hours are you in, Bike, right now?
Probably like 60 now.
What chapter are you on?
I think chapter 5. I'm way over leveled for whatever chapter I'm in, because I just run by like level 35 enemies. I'm like almost 50.
Okay, because
I'm running down hallways that are where I should be fighting things, but they're ignoring me like an MMO.
I put in 40, and I'm about I think halfway through chapter 6, and I think there's 10 chapters. Most people say it's about a 7 to 8 hour game. If you 100% it, it's 200 plus, because there is like
some of the side quests are crazy.
Are they good?
Yeah, they are.
Some of them.
Okay, so hold on. When I say good, is it more than dialogue, get a few items, dialogue?
A lot of the time, actually.
Yeah.
The one where you investigate a murder, a few other ones.
Yeah. And when we say dialogue, like a lot of it's fully voiced. Yeah. It's not just like reading text, which is kind of nice. But
and then they did a BioWare thing where like your blade summons, if you get a rare and it's in your inventory and you go to a certain location, it'll trigger a side quest for them.
Yeah. There's side quests
like
for
one of my
everyone.
blades be like, I want to learn like how to sing and have a singing career and shit. And I'm like, okay, and then you like help them.
Yeah.
I got a few questions about this, but they're more for like when we're closer to the end of this. So
yeah.
Let me know when's a good time.
This system right now on screen, you see how like that chest I'm opening took focus and lockpicking. Those are qualities or bonuses that your characters have, that your blades have, that you summon. So if you have like a bunch of blades with different qualities on them, you equip them, then you can get like secrets, like chests or like other things that you can discover, or doors that you can't open unless you have super strength.
For loot is what you're telling me.
You could what?
Huh?
Could you spec your party to get better loot?
That's what I did.
Well, no, you just like swap them in and out, basically.
Yeah, but the majority of my blades that I have right now is for better loot. Yeah. It's so the mobs drop.
Oh
better
yeah,
loot.
There's one blade where like enemies will drop more cash.
Yeah, and
there's one blade where people
blade specifically, the more cash that they drop in a fight, the more damage your characters will do.
Right? Yeah.
There's also
she gets more damage if other females are fighting with her.
Yeah, exactly.
You can get blades that give you effects to give you better chances at loot when you're running around. And then you can get blades that give you much more advantages for when you're in combat and stuff.
Yes.
Does it
but then also there's like
incredibly tedious switching back and forth every time you come to one of those situations?
I was complaining about. I wish that it would draw from your inventory of blades, so you have to have them equipped. But it becomes less of an issue the more party members you have, because each one can have 3 blades on.
Yep.
So once they're all filled out, you're just like you don't have to switch as much. But in the early game, yes, you could come to a lot of barriers where there's a chest or something. You're like, all right, I need 2 wind masteries. Let me equip 2 wind masteries. Make sure this person. Oh, I don't have enough slots because it doesn't open all 3 slots at the beginning of the game. So there's a lot of Tetris with it.
There is towards the end of the game, a lot of the early reviews, or I guess the reviews, not early reviews, stated that once you get to kind of the ending, you have to basically go around and get blades to open doors, which requires you to have lock picking level 4 and fire mastery level 4. And if you don't have that, the amount of grinding that could potentially have to occur for that is very, very large amounts. And
well,
so
luckily, most of the field skills don't take much, like eat 5 of their favorite food or whatever. It's pretty simple.
But these are like a lot of them are like rare specifics too, to open up certain doors that are just out in the field, which kind of sucks. But like you see this type of stuff and you're like, that's all the world, and this is just one of like 8, and it's fucking huge. Like
it's huge, man. Like every time I think I'm done with like a big giant island, there's another big giant island that's all completely different environment.
What are you doing in what we're watching right now? Out of curiosity, like I'm noticing you're not fighting anything. You're just kind of running. Are you farming resources?
What am I doing? Oh, I got a blade core, and I'm going to open it. That's what's going on right here. And then you
weren't even fighting things. You were just running around and like hitting resource nodes and stuff like that.
Oh yeah, I was just gathering stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was just gathering, like idly gathering. Sometimes I just talk to chat and just run around like an idiot. This is opening one of the common cores, and you can like put boosters on it, and you can do up to 5 where it's like 2 elements, and you'll increase the chances of getting one of those 2 elements.
This is the gotcha system where he gets the different blades.
I actually dropped in your stream for like 5 minutes, and in the 5 minutes I was there, you were doing this, and you got some crazy dude with a flaming sword.
Yeah, that guy was awesome.
Yeah, everyone was freaking out in chat.
Everyone was losing their mind because chat has a good time. Like when you get something rare.
Yeah,
and we haven't seen it before since the game's new, so it's fun.
Exactly. That's where I'm having a lot of fun.
Stuff comes out of those. Yeah.
Yeah. I'll try to get some of the combat stuff because we really haven't seen that. Here's a little bit of.
Do you remember like how we played Xenoblade Chronicles X or whatever it was? Remember Xenoblade Chronicles X, the one with the giant robots on Wii U?
Co-remembers.
Oh, I remember.
Yeah, it wasn't that fun. It wasn't that fucking fun. So this one I feel addressed like most of the problems in that game, as far as I'm concerned.
3, 4. Okay.
Hold on. The music in this game is a bajillion times, so much so that I love the music in this game. It is really good.
Map designers? Sorry, the map designers for this worked on Breath of the Wild too, so that's why I think the maps were so amazing.
Yeah.
So tell me something. Are there giant robots?
Not that I know of. They showed a flash of one, but I've never controlled it, and there's no like really running around with it looking like system that I've heard of.
The thing with this game is
maybe I haven't gotten
things change so much over the course of 20, 40, 60 hours that like there is a mech, but I don't want to tell you anything about it.
Yeah, don't tell me anything.
Totally. Well, okay, so getting to the questions I alluded to earlier. I know for a fact, JP, that you weren't super jazzed about Chronicles. I think you finished it though, right?
I did finish Xenoblade Chronicles X, yeah.
Now, Bikeman, me and you have had discussions about Chronicles X. Did you finish that one?
Yeah. No, I never did because I got bored.
Yeah, exactly.
And
okay, I didn't think.
Yeah.
And I'm in that same boat. I ended up getting like just fed up with it, essentially. So here's my question: if let's assume I actively didn't super like Chronicles X.
Mm-hmm.
Is this the kind of thing where I could play this game and be like, okay, not only is this playable, but I like this?
Depends on what you actively didn't like about Xenoblade.
Yeah, what did you hate about Xenoblade?
I actively despised the music. I thought I never felt like I was really progressing too much. The systems weren't very engaging. So and it got to the point where combat was just like complete snooze.
Here's Xenoblade Chronicles X had like that hub town, right, where you always went back to it.
Yep.
This one has like clear progression, like you go to a new world and see something new like almost every single chapter.
Tell them about the development levels, JP.
Yeah, but then that's the other thing. Each town has these developmental levels, right? And they get larger. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Like make the game dev or
no. So when we say development, it's like developing the town.
More money in shops. If you buy stuff from shops, do missions, talk to people in the town that have like a star conversation next to them, you have a chance of upgrading the town. and it gets a better economy. The shops sell more stuff. You get new quests unlocked.
It's
all
not really
kinds of
base
stuff like that.
build. The shops are already there. They just sell more stuff as you develop the town. Basically.
Once you get the shops fully unlocked and they sell all their stuff, you can buy one of each thing from the shop and then buy a deed and then own part of the shop, and it gives you like an overall super. Like I run 5% faster.
Yeah.
I get 10% more drop on stuff, but I'm trying to like upgrade the towns enough so that all of them sell their full stock and I can get the deeds.
So the other thing about this game that I feel like we haven't said at all, 24, maybe 30 hours in, you're still getting tutorials about combat, about things in the world, about different things that you can do to do certain other things. Like the combat in this game.
The combat's
Make me
fantastic.
hook up my damn Switch.
Well, the combat in this game starts with, it's actually pretty boring. It's actually like the most basic, not interesting. Okay, I'm just going to sit here and auto attack. And then like 30 hours later, there's
You're
like
building up like ultra combos.
well, there's
and then,
like 5 combos.
systeming.
There's like 5
Yeah.
combo systems, I think, at that point.
And then you want to like push the start button and go into your like chain and then break the what was it, the
Exactly. Yeah.
spheres and-
I did. I was fighting a boss. Like there's rare mobs in the game. We should also say that just are walking around the world. And I think I did. There's rare mobs, yeah, and they give you special
they're
drops,
named mobs.
and you can farm them. But I did basically not the biggest chain. I haven't done the biggest chain yet because it's fucking stupidly hard to do. But I got like the second biggest chain, and it did
Tell me more about
800,000
this biggest
damage.
chain.
It did 800,000 damage.
800,000. The most I've ever gotten was like 200,000 damage.
800,000 damage, and I almost did 1 million. The mob just exploded.
What's the biggest chain?
The biggest chain
What do you
is
start
when you do the chain combo, which is the bars in the top left here, and then you fill
Yeah.
up that bar by canceling. So you can have up to 8 elements, right? Those 8
Yeah.
orbs circling. And
Yeah.
if you do 8 orbs and you cancel all those orbs and fill that bar up, then you can fucking do like a giant explosion, super fucking crazy combo that I've never done.
I missed what constitutes like when it goes around with the chain attack. What constitutes it like it doesn't stop? Like is it if you break one of the orbs, you go around again and then like to each party member and do it again?
Yeah. It's what resets it. So you have to like the game is so stupidly complex when it comes to that stuff that it took me a very long time of just grinding to get it. So it's like you do these combos, right? You build up your combos and you finish the combo and it's like water, right? So then it gets a water orb spinning around the mob. You can do that for all 8 elements if you have the blades to like set that up basically. And then when you go into your chain combo, if it's fire, then you need to make sure that you cast water 2 or 3 times in that chain combo so it cancels out the
need
fire.
a chart that like shows me the opposites of
Exactly.
everything, 'cause
So
I
like
forget.
it's like, oh god, that's an ice. I guess.
Yeah, what's
wind?
the opposite of ice?
Or what?
Is it wind?
I guess. I don't know.
I guess it's whatever the boosters are, right?
Yeah, and so you're kind of guessing at a lot of that stuff, but that's what I'm talking about when the combat's like super fucking basic at the beginning, and it feels like
the
you're playing a
combat's
different
super
game.
basic at the beginning, and then by the time you're like 30 hours in, you're just like, I'm pulling off like I'm doing a combo, and my party members are all like got the elements that for the next steps in that combo, and then I got like a sphere rotating the enemy, and now I'm pushing the start button to go into a chain combo to break the sphere to get ultra damage. It's like, what are you talking about? Chat has no fucking idea what you're doing.
Well,
But you're
yeah.
like,
Like
oh, this is amazing, chat. You got to just trust me on this.
Yeah. What was that code?
I said that sounds like a DBZ episode.
It
like
is.
An arc.
So
yeah.
the fight scenes are basically DBZ episodes. Like
There's no
Pretty
fishing
much.
in this game, is there?
No.
Well, there's a thing called
count.
salvaging, which is basically
salvaging
fishing.
kinda, I guess, yeah.
And salvaging actually has led me to break the game. I don't know if Bikeman's done this yet.
I heard about your cheat, sir, and I found your spot as well.
It's not necessarily cheating.
Oh,
it's
you
in
were
the game.
farming those crystals, weren't you?
No, fuck the crystals. I'm just farming gold. I make about 1 million and 2 million gold
What
in
do you
like
need the gold for?
developing towns. I just walk into
Oh,
a
I
town
guess
and buy
so.
99 of a weapon, and then the town's like, "Oh, we're level 5 now. Let's move along."
Does that? I don't want to like spoil too much. Does that thing that happens where you get the rare core, like, can that happen more than once?
What do you
With the
mean?
500K
The one where you get the lucky core.
Oh,
one
no,
that
that can only
guarantees a
happen
rare.
once. That can only happen
Oh,
once.
okay.
Yeah. But there is something above golden boosters that you can get. I think, at least in
Oh,
some
in
of the
premium
towns.
canisters.
Yeah. At least in some of the towns. So,
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like there's so many systems in this game, and they're so wildly.
We didn't even touch the Merc system.
Yeah, like they're wildly verbose, and some things are incredibly and utterly tedious. I fucking hate the Merc system. I hate everything about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I actually despise the Merc system.
It's a little annoying.
It's the type of thing where it's like in any other game where you send people out on
Cell phone
missions.
Games used it. Have you ever played cell phone games that had the same exact system? Code, have you played one of those cell phone games where you unlock characters and they have like certain traits and then you send them on a mission and it's like they'll be done in like 3 hours, you know, like real time, 3 hours, but you send them on with the traits and they'll have a better chance of coming back with more loot. So it's like that.
Yeah.
But it's for leveling up your leveling up your blades that you don't use, basically.
And the tedious part about it is not necessarily sending them on the missions. The tedious part is when they come back, it takes like 15 seconds or 20 seconds to go through each menu to see like, oh, well, this blade got this upgrade. That's great. And you're just fucking spamming.
Because they're talking and we have the voices turned off,
yeah.
dude.
And you're just trying to get fucking through it as fast as possible.
We turned the voices off because remember in Xenoblade Chronicles XCO where no one would shut up during the fight about what move they were doing constantly? Yeah, we turned that off. You can turn that off in this, but you sacrifice like a couple of other things that are negligible, like them talking during menus.
Yeah. I think you're fighting a rare monster here. The other thing that a lot of people complain about that has actually gotten better for me is sometimes just normal mobs take like a minute or two to fight. Like they're
all
very
the normal
long
mobs
fights.
are like elite mobs from like a raid instance.
Yeah,
they all have like super health.
They're pretty tanky, and some people are kind of turned off by that. But
you don't mind it so much once you get the superpowers later.
No, because you just start blowing.
Okay,
them up.
now something else I've noticed from watching both your streams is combat seems slow. It seems like you're fighting underwater.
Hey,
That's so you can be tactical during it.
Yeah, we're paying attention to all the stuff that's going on the right side of the screen, basically.
Yeah, I'll pull up a combat from later on.
Everyone has 3 blades assigned to them, right, Co? So each one of them has an element. So when you auto attack, you do 3 auto attacks, and that builds up your special powers. You have like a bunch of special powers, and when you get them filled up, you do a special power right when you hit with an auto attack, and like a burst of energy comes out, and that means that you did the timing good, and it fills up a little meter when Roman numeral 1, 2, 3, and 4. So those are the tiers of power attacks you can do once you build them up. Once you pull one of those off, it counts as doing an element, whatever element you had equipped at the time. Then, as you can see on the right side of the screen, right, it says Mega Explosion. That's my party member. He also has a fire person. So if the next part of that chain is fire, he can pull that off when he's ready. And it shows you up on the top right there, like what the next thing in the chain is, what the next element is. So once you get 3 of those down, then an orb starts to spin around the thing and you did a power attack, and then you can like blow up the orb by pushing the start button with a meter in the upper left over there.
Yeah.
And once that's full, you can like do a super chain combo, and then you try to attack with the opposite thing and it freezes and lets you choose like whatever thing you have summoned, and if you have the opposite element, then you can crack the orb and break the orb, and once you break the orb, then you do super damage, and I'm talking about like hundreds of thousands of damage.
Well,
it's incredible, and you're trying to pay attention that entire time, so the combat doesn't matter if it's slow because you're working on like crazy shit over there on the right.
And you should also state that
it looks slow, but it's not actually slow at all.
No,
you're doing a ton of stuff.
You should also state that the skills in the bottom right, Co, are positionals, and they're also reactionary to stuff that's happening. So everything that Bike just said is there, but there's also this whole break, topple, launch, slam combo thing.
Yeah, one of your party members does a break and a meter appears at the top, and then you're like, oh, I have a topple skill. So you do that topple skill, and as long as the break meter's still going, you can topple and knock them over.
Yeah.
And then someone can knock them up into the air if they have the next step. And so there's like 1,000 layered systems going on.
The best way to do damage is to get them to launch or get them to slam, or whatever the fourth one is called. I don't have it yet. It's pretty like late game, but is to get them into that thing and then launch your chain combo and do the entire chain combo of like 8 different elements. And it's probably just going to be like stupid damage.
So you've got aqua on the left and heat on the bottom, and you can pick which way it goes based on that.
So you see this thing in the top right, the little blinking thing that says like Seal Stench. Yeah. So
that was the special move that just got done. Yeah.
Right now, I just did. I think I did a water. Right. So now on the left is one of my party members, and she's building up Venom Water, which is the next chain in the top right of that combo.
But
now,
also, if he had someone with Earth, you can see there's a little Earth symbol right there.
yeah,
with the
so I could
water.
do someone with Earth, but then I have to follow it up with someone with Wind. Whereas if she goes Water, then we can follow it up with Water, or we can follow it up with Dark Tide. Or sorry.
Oh, so that's actually a branching tree from left to right.
Yes. And each one of those things, like Stench, is a part or an ability in the game. Seal Reinforcements means that they won't be able to reinforce with other enemies in the fight.
Yes, if he completes the combo and ends with whatever element is in that list, he will seal that power, and the enemy can't do that power.
And if you use an element that's not in the chain, then it resets it?
Yes.
I think you can pull them off. I don't think it's resets. I think
well, the
you
only
pull them
person
off
that
and
can
they'll
really...
Oh, they just like go off without progressing the chain.
Yeah. Because they have to build up their meter, right, to be able to do this stuff. I think eventually I'll get to a chain combo so you can see it. Then we'll stop.
I have to admit, dude, like this, what you guys are telling me right now is exactly what I meant before the show, where it's like, I'm hoping I hear about things that are interesting that have nothing to do with anime. Like, this is the kind of stuff that gets me interested, because like
Only
these
the story
systems
is anime
sound
related.
genuinely interesting. This is kind of cool from what I'm hearing. And also I can already tell now that I've actually spent some time looking at it, this combat looks nothing like Xenoblade's.
Yes.
The one that I played.
Well, it looks like Xenoblade Chronicles 1.
Severely more engaging.
It is a true Xenoblade X is its own fucking weird thing. Xenoblade Chronicles 1 was basically this combat, like through and through.
Apparently, I picked a bad time to jump in the series with
well,
Blades X. The first.
X is not really related, as far as I know, to this at all. 1 is only loosely related in a way that doesn't fucking matter at all, for at least from what I can tell. I've been told like the end game is very dark and serious, so maybe it starts to make some allusions to that stuff. But yeah.
So
the spear is cool.
if you hit him with the sword, does it hurt them?
Yes. But I don't have a sword. I've got
Only if you build up your kick power, then your sword will hurt.
yeah.
I love
Honestly, I feel like Captain America, like sitting there and waiting, like, I got that reference.
Yeah. All right, here's chain attack. This is the chain attack stuff right here,
you
Co.
said the comment, you just kind of looked around, and then when you saw people were going with it, you were just like,
Yeah.
smile like popped up on your face.
Co, this is the chain attack stuff where I'm
feeding
breaking
off
the
of
different orbs at the top, just so you can reference, and you'll see the massive damage at the end. But it also does like damage on the left. But then if you kill the mob, you get overkill damage.
Overkill,
And
yeah. you get more
overkill
loot.
damage gives you better loot and better experience by how much overkill damage you actually do.
So cool.
And when we say better
wait,
loot and better
wait,
damage,
wait,
it's or better
Are you
experience.
saying the game rewards you for being over leveled?
Not necessarily over leveled. You can pop this at the very end of the fight for an overkill.
Yeah, if the enemy
I'm
has a
just
sliver
saying,
of health
though,
left.
Had more levels, then you would do more overkill damage and get more bonuses, right?
Not necessarily, because you wouldn't. The way that you're able to pull this shit off is because the fights are long, and so if the fights are
you
shorter,
kill
you
stuff
won't have
too
time to
fast
build up
and-
to it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
It rewards you for fighting things that take a long time to kill.
Yeah. So I think I have one more in this combo. Then we'll see how. I think it does like only 400k or something like that. But
Oh, and since my chat is going crazy about this, I am fully aware that instead of there being a Tatsu, that there is essentially an entire race. I
Yeah.
know.
let me pull away from the screen.
I'm mentally preparing myself.
And the thing that sucks about the Tatsu in this game is he's the tank for the first 20, 30 hours of the game. So you have to use him. Like, you have to use him. And then he gets replaced. And then you got to use him again for a little bit. And then he gets replaced. And I'm hoping I never have to use him again.
There is a big benefit, though. It's not actually Tatsu. And that
True.
alone is going to be, like, that is a sizable okay.
I still felt like they were nowhere near as annoying as Tatsu. Like he was Jar Jar.
As long as we don't get a cook myself joke every 5 to 15 minutes.
What
By,
about...
oh my god!
How do you
like,
feel
that was
about...
funny the first 74 times, but that 75th time is when the dagger kind of hit me a little bit.
How do you feel about the phrase meh? Just literally just nonstop. Just over and over for about 30 hours. Just nonstop. Just the phrase
Doesn't happen. Fuck off.
meh. And when you're in combat, he just goes meh, just nonstop. I had to fucking turn it off.
You have combat voices on.
Like it happens a lot. It's kind of ridiculous.
I was wondering why. Okay, because I said meh about the Souls-like mech game we were talking about.
Xenoblade X?
The surge.
Oh,
The
sorry.
Surge, there you go.
Yeah.
when I said, because I said that, I was kind of mad about the first one, and then the chat blew up with man. I was like,
Yeah.
what the fuck are you?
It's become kind of a meme
it.
now. It's a little bit of a meme, yeah.
It's like their racial, like, flustered.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get the
Exclamation.
Witcher guys to re-record Le as me.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
I turned off game voices, but I turned up the combat narration because I love that guy who's just like superb level 4 combo, and he's like, yeah, he's a big fan of me.
Zeke, I will say, I'm not going to say anything about it, but there's a character called the Zekeinator.
Oh my god.
The Zekeinator?
Yeah, the Zekeinator. It's Zeke is his name. He's a playable character. He's good.
I have a character. So I have a character in this game. I have Zeke the Zerker in WoW, I think.
Yeah. Yeah. I want to try to show Ko a little bit of like the exploration stuff, but it's kind of, I can't because it gets spoilery. This is just a normal mob right here. If you can see this giant fucking thing at the top, that's called a Titan. You fight those pretty regularly. It's just a giant fish thing. It takes a while to fight. Where
Did you buy that 500k core?
Oh yeah, I did.
All right, I won't say anything, but you know how hilarious it is.
Oh yeah, no, it's a girl who rides around in a bathtub and yeah, and you know, she's interested.
Yeah,
in
that was Tangent Stream. The title of Tangent Stream was 500k Tub Girl reveal or something, and it was just kind of like,
yeah. Okay, here. So, Ko, this is the type of stuff just walking around. Like, this is one of the later zones in the game, but it's fucking like stupidly huge and gorgeous, and you can go to every single one of those places. We should also maybe talk about the performance.
That's real.
It doesn't run that well sometimes. I feel like there's a memory leak with the game when you go from zone to
there's a lot
zone.
of particles on the screen. You can see it turning down its own resolution.
Yeah. Sometimes it'll like jump down to like, it looks like 480p. It looks really fucking rough. It's definitely like pushing the.
I was like, this just turned into 3DS for a second because there were too many particles.
It's pushing the Switch a little bit, and sometimes the FPS drops real low.
Dude, this level design is pretty awesome. This is, yeah.
And keep in mind the story behind we haven't even talked about the story, but the base of the story is that Titans, which is what I'm walking on right now, like there's the Cloud Sea, right? Cloud Sea is kind of the Earth in a sense. It's all clouds, and beneath it is water.
Yeah, there was
I really want to hear this. I really want to hear this, but please be careful not to spoil it.
Well, I'm not going to. But Titans, Titans are what like everyone lives on, and Titans are literally just giant fucking creatures. And when I say giant, like
that agree not to destroy us.
Yeah, they're fucking massive. Like walking from one point to the other would probably take like 20 minutes. They're stupidly huge, and there's, I don't know, a handful of those, and that's kind of where all the fighting and all the plot takes place, because each Titan has like its own tribe of people, basically. And there's like political drama. There's like stuff that's kind of overarching all that
entire
stuff.
empires on some of them.
Yeah.
So you are parasites, basically.
We're fleas.
I wouldn't say parasites. I'd say like there's more of a symbiotic relationship because they take care of the Titans and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Sure, like
There's
you're
one
like
scene
the
where they talk
bacteria.
about there's one scene where they talk about how they're regulating the bloodstream of the Titan to make it more comfortable and stuff like that because it's got a disease or something.
Yeah.
So like it's like one of those birds that cleans the crocodile's teeth. They don't eat.
Yeah.
So 2 quick questions without spoilers here. Is the story driving? As in, do you get to points where you really want to know more?
100% yes. Like yesterday, something happened in the game, and I'm pissed off that I can't play it today on stream because
I've seen both of you tweet out that the story is getting good and things like that in the game. So in fact, I think those were the words you used exactly, JP.
It does things where it's like literally just anime filler. It's like, oh, okay, the next chapter is just bullshit anime filler. And then at the end of that, they do the anime thing where it's like, but this connects somehow because, you know, this person is something else entirely. And then you're just like, oh, fuck. And then it starts the next chapter. And it sometimes tells you what's happening, and sometimes it doesn't. I have to be careful what I say, though, because the beginning of the game, like the game changes so fucking much from the first 10 hours, 5 hours. So I got to be real careful with what I say. Character-wise.
Well, and as a quick follow-up, is the story adult? Is this something that we're gonna find interesting, and there's gonna be new stuff for us, kind of like veterans that have done these things 100 times before, or is it more kind of standard anime where you can kind of like a Zelda game?
It's pretty anime
kinda see what's
tropey.
coming?
It's pretty anime
tropey, but they've got good comic timing. Whoever wrote it,
Yeah.
so that's what kept me going because it made me laugh a bunch.
Yeah, there's a joke.
Cool.
I mean, they literally say the phrase "one-eyed monster," and like everyone in the fucking scene is just like nosebleeds and like all that stuff starts happening.
The big character's like, doesn't that mean dicks? Why are you blushing?
Yeah,
she slaps him.
I gotta change.
Okay, that's pretty fun.
I gotta change the screen. But yeah, it's pretty fun. I definitely want to try to finish it. But with Path of Exile on Friday, might have to take a backseat. So we'll have to see. But yeah, I think.
Oh yeah, actually, we got to talk plans.
Yeah.
Are we done with Xenoblade?
Yeah, I think so. I don't unless you guys have any more questions about it. It's a super hard game to talk about because the tutorials in that game are literally still happening 25 hours in, and it's still introducing like brand new things in the combat, and some stuff's just not even like introduced. You just have to kind of figure it out on your own.
Yeah.
So. But I'm enjoying my time with it, so I think Bike is as well.
Oh yes, probably finish it.
But yeah, we got like 5-10 minutes. What do you want to talk about, Ko?
Okay, so real quick, so I just recently found out the timing for December 9th and 10th, specifically for 2 games. I think that at least 3 of us, maybe even all of us, will be playing. So let me make sure I get these times right. So PoE goes live on the 8th at 3 p.m. EST.
That sounds correct, yeah.
And then Monster Hunter, the beta for the PS4, which is only up for 3 days, goes live the 9th at 1 p.m. EST?
That sounds correct, yeah.
So what are you guys going to do about that? It's like, I know both of you are planning on playing PoE again, aren't you?
Yeah. I'll definitely be playing Path of Exile all day Friday. But Saturday, me and Bike are going to be playing Monster Hunter with Lyric. And from what I've been told about Monster Hunter demo, there's 3 like hunts, like monster hunts in the sense of like quest in the game. And so it's pretty limited in what you can do. I don't personally think I'll get 3 days of gameplay out of it. I'm sure the Monster Hunter fanatics.
If they allow you to carve the monsters and craft from what you carve, then I'll probably be playing it for at least all 3 days.
Yeah.
I'll probably be trying to play with every streamer group that I can then.
I think my interest in the Monster Hunter demo is I want to see how it runs. I kind of want to get a gist of the systems of the game to see what's new. And after that, I'm kind of good because it's a beta that's 3 days and like Path of Exile's out. And I kind of want to put focus on that. But yeah, I'm super interested in both. I think Path of Exile will take a backseat on Saturday, but for my interest, I'll go right back to it Saturday evening and Sunday and every day after that. But I don't know. It depends on how much content there is in Monster Hunter. Those quests usually take like an hour or so each like mob, right? So I just want to see how it runs.
That's a little disappointing. I thought there was going to be like 3 days worth of stuff. So
I don't think
I didn't know if people were going to be like delaying PoE longer or how that was going to work. But
well, I mean, Monster Hunter's an entire map, so you could probably like goof off in it. Besides killing the 3 quests, you can do a lot of other stuff. Plus, there's random chance other monsters will show up.
Yeah,
cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd love to. I've made no plans with Monster Hunter. I'm pretty much in the same boat as you, Bike. Like anyone that wants to play, I'm gonna try to. I'll probably ping you guys whenever I fire it up and see if you guys have room and stuff like that.
I was talking to Strippin about it. Strippin's been playing a shit ton of Monster Hunter. Some of the portable stuff from. I think he's playing like the Japanese version right now.
Yep, so have I.
Yeah, and it's like he's going full in. But I completely lost what I was gonna say. Oh, he was saying that the games support. I think it's 12 or 16 person lobbies. So they're kind of like servers in a sense. So you can just have streamers connect into said server and have like a streamer server. And that's what Strippin plans to do with like him and a lot of other streamers.
Basically, it's like a hub town in the old games where the 4 players would be in the same hub town. But in this one, there can be 16 players. You don't necessarily have to be in the same group.
Yeah.
You just go about your business and also still exist in the same hub town.
Yeah, so you can even do that with like you can even do that with subs, which is pretty cool. Like, hey, I'm gonna open up a sub server, get 16 of you in here, and we'll go and hunt some shit. Although parties are 4-man, correct, Bike?
Yep, only 4.
Okay. So yeah, I don't know. Well, I'm just curious to jump in and because I haven't touched Monster Hunter since Try, which was like 5 years ago, maybe.
Was that the Wii one?
It was the
that came
Wii
out
U
for
one,
3DS
yeah.
as well?
Yeah.
That was a good one.
It wasn't bad, yeah, but it still looked like shit, and that's why I'm excited for this one because it
Yes,
doesn't look like
me
shit
too.
graphically.
Yep, finally.
It's not a 3DS fucking up-res version of a game. It's a game built for like, PS4 and PC. Do you know if the PS4 version runs at 60 bike or is it 30? Do you have any idea?
I think it's going to be 30. That's what I'm hearing.
It's going to be the Destiny type thing where everyone's going to be hoping for 60 FPS, but we'll play the shit out of the PS4 and Xbox One versions, and then PC version will come out and be like, I'm all right.
People are like, are you going to wait for PC? I was like, no fucking way. I'm not waiting for PC. I'll suck up the PS4 version and play it.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm pretty excited for that. I think it's also funny. Someone mentioned in the chat, it reminded me, Dauntless is literally on the same exact day as that beta, like pushing a pretty big update for their game. And I don't know why they would do that to themselves. I feel like
they're trying to. I think they're trying to publicly tell people like we are a Monster Hunter alternative.
Yeah.
But it's kind of like after seeing what the new Monster Hunter has to offer and seeing what Dauntless is doing, like Dauntless foundationally, the way they're doing things at a base level is not nearly as developed as Monster Hunter.
Yeah.
So like I played Dauntless and I liked it and it was fun and it was pretty enjoyable, but there's no question after playing Dauntless for 10 hours, at least for me, I was kind of like, all right, are we frozen?
No.
Nope. It
Everyone
freezes
just
from time
stopped.
to time.
Okay, anyway.
It happens.
Yeah,
every
but
now
for
and
me, like it just seems it really seems like a David and Goliath situation with Dauntless being David, but he doesn't have a sling. It's kind of like it's kind of like they're positioning themselves to be a competitor to this behemoth franchise, but they didn't really bring the big guns to compete.
Yeah.
So I don't get me
know how
wrong.
they
I hope
would
Dauntless
anyway.
does well and that it has a niche, but it's when you look at the Monster Hunter stuff that's available as a layman to both franchises, as somebody who hasn't played a lot of Monster Hunter, you kind of look at the two games and it's just very clear that one of them has a lot more thought put into it in terms of mechanics, systems, world and design.
It looks like they've been doing it for 20 years.
They've been doing it
Exactly.
for a long time.
That's the point.
Yeah.
That's the point I'm making. Like it's they're going up against a Goliath with a product that frankly is
It's
not
like-
quite ready.
It's like G.I. Joe going up against Akira. It's like one is much more detailed,
Sure.
and the
sure.
other one, is a lot more basic. And Monster Hunter, it's going to be tough too because Monster Hunter is the type of game where they release and then they drip content. So like you're not going to get bored of it because they'll drip challenges, new monsters. They'll drip a whole bunch of stuff like they do every game.
Yep.
And you know what? Chad is bringing up a really good point. Now, Dauntless it is a free-to-play model, so they do have that going for it, and they do have kind of the Monster Hunter Lite for people that don't want to buy Monster Hunter and still want to kind of get the experience. That could be their saving grace, maybe. In fact, maybe that was the plan from the beginning to offer a free-to-play Monster Hunter.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, it's going to be interesting to see how it does, especially
I'm
considering.
definitely going to play it every now and then. I want to try the
Dauntless?
new weapon out.
Yeah,
Dauntless.
For me with Dauntless though, is it feels, especially when like I did a bunch of hunts in Dauntless. I played the hell out of that.
Mhm.
I played it off and on stream. I played it with other people in solo, and by the 30th or so hunt, when you realize that like every level is identical, all the harvesting is identical, like it's just I really got to a point where I was just kind of like, this game is a veneer. Like everything you see is exactly what you get. There's almost nothing under the hood.
That's true.
And like, how far can they really take this until it just gets completely boring?
Yeah.
And again, by the 30th fight, I was just kind of like, this is, I mean, all the fights were starting to feel the same. Every fight was just show up on an island, run to find the mob in the middle of a field, fight him until maybe he moves, run there and do the same thing. Just no variety. I don't know, dude. I feel like I'm kind of ragging on Dauntless, and I don't want to. But
Well, you're making the points that I think everyone can see. Like they're going up against Monster Hunter. I think it's a really weird decision for them to launch the same day as that beta, only because, I mean, you're going to look at the stream numbers and it's going to be probably like 100,000 plus versus like maybe 10,000, maybe for Dauntless.
It's going to be like Battleborn and Gigantic when they try to do Overwatch, man.
Yeah.
It's going to be like just like you said, it's going to be like a 10 to 20 to 1 ratio, most likely.
Yeah. And I think like the Tuesday or the Monday after Monster Hunter World is done with their beta, like Dauntless might have a pretty good success right there. Like oh god, I can't play Monster Hunter World anymore, but this game's out. Let's go try that. Let's see how that is. But then again, at the end of January, Monster Hunter World's gonna launch, and if they try to go up against that, like everything we just said, it's gonna be rough. It's gonna be rough. But
I don't see how Dauntless could be ready for full production by the time Monster Hunter releases.
yeah, I mean,
I'd be kind of surprised if they were to try to push what they have now within a couple months.
They just need more stuff to do. I mean, Monster Hunter has all these layered mechanics. Like, it's not just like killing monsters and gathering. It's like a whole bunch of other systems to develop too.
Yeah. All right. Well, we're due for a break, but before we do, my mods actually told me this site just went live, and we're probably going to crash it right now with the audience that we currently have. But goty.itmebot.com is available for our Dropped Frames community poll. It's live. You guys can go vote on your top 3 games of 2017, your best story, best graphics / art direction, best multiplayer, best music / sound effects, and disappointment of the year. You guys can put in whatever you want.
We're having
there.
people type it in?
Yeah. The dev behind all this actually has it auto sorting and stuff like that. So
This is a berry system, right?
no, this is one of the other mods. Yeah. Whose name I'm fucking blanking on right now, which is really bad. But yeah, it's
like it.
We'll see if it works.
Yeah.
We might have just crashed the website, but it seems like it's working. You got to connect with your Twitch when you log in, just because it pulls some information there, so people can't spam it, etc. But yeah, Cross-Eyed Jack, he's the one that made it. He's
hell yeah.
He's made some other stuff from us as well. But you guys can go do that. Also, I guess you could put in. I don't know if we didn't put PUBG in there. Like, I don't know if that's blocked out, but I guess we could just.
Is there still plans for them to release this year though?
Maybe. Yes, we'll talk about that when we come back. We got to take a break because there's a lot of shit.
Yeah. Okay. We got to talk PoE. We'll talk PUBG. I want to hear about. Did you talk about 7 last week?
No, I want to talk to Co and Bike because I think they both played it. Yeah.
Did you? Okay, because I'm looking at it right now and I'm thinking I want to hear about it.
Yeah.
I got some things to say about
Okay.
7.
We still got stuff to talk about.
Okay.
So let's take a break. We'll be right back. More Drop Frames right after this. We'll see you guys on the other side.